Hi, everybody. Jack O'Malley coming to you live from the rest stop on 127. It's been a crazy day, and I didn't get a chance to record. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to go live today, even though it's from the rest stop. I did have to stop because let's just say I got the big drink, and when you're traveling. The other thing I noticed when I got out of the car, there was about four other people getting out of their car here at the rest stop. And when you've been sitting down for hours as you travel, everybody was getting out of their car. They looked like zombies. Everybody's stiff from sitting. So I had to chuckle on that. The other thing here at the rest stop, there is a woman there who was sitting all by herself, but she had tons and tons of the Unlock Michigan petitions. And I went up to her and I said, hey, I just want you to know I've already signed, but thank you for doing that. If you hadn't heard, the Unlock Michigan petition is at, I believe now, over 400,000 votes, 400,000 signatures. And they hope to have the 500,000 by the end of the month. So if you haven't signed, please do so. And if you have, thank you. And to all the folks that have been out there with those petitions, that's the way the system's supposed to work. So good job. All right, a couple of things. Not a lot happening, if you will. I mean, there always is, but nothing necessarily new on the COVID front. So I wanted to touch base with you on a couple of things, and then I'll get to the couple of COVID things. I've been talking to you about the legislation that I've been working on, and it's all coming together at the same time. And part of that's because of the COVID. We weren't in session, so things got pushed back. So this week, I'm going to be giving testimony. Let's see if I get it all right here on my school bus bills, hopefully getting voted out of judiciary and onto the House floor after that. Also going to be getting a vote in children, families, and seniors on my child care bills. And there's been some discussion. We've tweaked those things a little bit, talked with the governor's office. Hopefully we get a positive vote. I believe we will. And then my emergency task force, or my emergency management bill, will be in Veterans and Homeland Security tomorrow. And today, let's see, I started my day with a breakfast with some Farm Bureau folks. Then I was on a phone call with the Michigan Emergency Management Association, telling them about my legislation. Then I talked to some school kids at New Covenant Academy, and then had another meeting, and I've been on the phone all day too. So so much is happening right now, and I'm loving every minute of it. I appreciate being your representative, and yeah, I really do. And it's a lot of work. Pushing this legislation through, but I'm passionate about all of it, and I appreciate that opportunity. So I just kind of wanted to bring you up. I'll let you know how the votes go in Wednesday's update. But a couple of COVID things. Well, one other thing that, just so you know, it's an interesting discussion I saw in the news today. The Michigan Capitol Commission is discussing firearms on the state capitol. As I know, a few months back, that was a big discussion. And they are now going to talk with the Senate Majority Leader and the Speaker of the House to discuss things and how to move forward with that. I'm not going to get into all the details right now. I have some strong feelings on how we should move forward with that, but it's a discussion that is being had. I think it's a good discussion. The other thing that I'll just throw out there in this world of, especially on social media, where there's so much venom, just remember, and I've learned this, I mean, I knew it, but I've learned this having become a state representative. Compromise is not a dirty word. It does not mean that you've given up your values. It doesn't mean that you've caved. What it means is you respect the other person's perspective if they respect yours. And so compromise is not a dirty word. And that's how you move things forward. If you aren't willing to compromise and you aren't willing to respect the other person's opinion, doesn't mean you necessarily agree with it, but you respect it. And if there is that mutual respect, you can get a lot done. And that's what I'm going to try and do. The only real COVID thing that stuck out to me that's really anything new, and you've probably heard about it, is in the last couple of weeks, the area that's seen the most increase in cases of COVID is on college campuses. Now, that doesn't surprise me. Let's face it, kids, young people are bulletproof. They don't think about that. They're going to live forever, and so they do silly things. Now, one of the things that I think is very important as we argue back and forth about the response and the management of COVID, it's still a virus and it's still out there. And we have to be careful because I don't want to get sick. You don't want to get sick. Now, some people will, right? We know that. But what we don't want to do is be foolish about it. And we do need to be respectful. So that brings me back to college campuses. Now think about this. College campuses are known for studying hard, but also partying hard. And we've got these kids, they're virtual, if they're on campus or just off campus, they're isolated in many ways. So what happens in colleges when you're not studying? You get together with friends. And the problem is, that appears to be in these colleges, large groups have gotten together. Not a good idea. And so these college campuses, after hours, off-campus type parties, have become super spreader events. So moms and dads, any college kids out there listening, let's remind these young adults that have gone off to school, don't do that. Because we don't want, if you do have a massive problem like this, I think MSU's got like 350 cases. That's going to cause some real problems, okay? Now, that doesn't mean everybody's hospitalized, but that means people are home. That means people do have to isolate. So I think it is a good reminder, especially moms and dads, if you've got kids off at school, remind them, hey, have fun, be smart, but stay out of these 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 people parties, because it's just not a good idea. And it is a good reminder to all of us that we need to social distance, we need to wash our hands, we need to be responsible in all of this and follow some rules, right? So I think that's just a good reminder to us all. And, but we can do this smartly, and we can do this safely, and we can do this responsibly. So, but you get a bunch of college kids together, and they're the future of America. But they have to learn some lessons. So to all those frontline workers and all the nurses and people that are taking care of those kids on college campuses now that may be ill, thank you, because I think these young people have learned a lesson. So that's really all I got for you tonight. I'll keep it short. I got to get to Lansing. I'm headed down. Of course, we're in session, and I'm testifying and taking votes and all that stuff this week. So it's short. It's sweet. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about on Wednesday, but I'm going to hit the road, leave the rest stop, and head on down the highway. So with that, I leave you tonight. Have a great evening. If anything happens in between now and Wednesday, of course, I'll let you know. Yeah, just check out. This past weekend, too, we posted some interesting things on this Facebook page. If you haven't scrolled down and looked, there's some video and things there you might want to check out, too. So that's what I got for you tonight. I want you to be safe, have fun, keep smiling, and hang in there. We're going to get through this. I promise you that. All right? Have a good night.